Hi, welcome to another vlog of ours. It's been a while since I vlogged. Now, we are here in NLEX. We are on the way to the site for a brand new project. It's going to be a two-story residence in Kalumpit, Bulacan. That's why we are here in NLEX. Nasa Paseo de Blas na tayo. We're going to exit via Pulilan dahil sa Tabang daw ay hindi advisable, no? It's going to be very traffic in Malolos if we exit in Tabanga. Now, I've been meaning to vlog about the entire process of having a house constructed, but to no avail. So hopefully with this project, I'd be able to do that. And just like with the other videos, this is going to be very raw, unedited, unfiltered. Kayo nang bahala mag-filter, no? Through the noises along the way. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, this client is, was my classmate in the Ateneo. Just a brief backgrounder. I graduated from the Ateneo in 2020 at the height of the pandemic. My degree is Master in Disaster Risk and Resilience. I form part of the pioneering batch for that program in the Ateneo. I was a scholar of the International Research Development Center. It's an organization that's based in Canada. So my tuition fees were free, inclusive of all of the miscellaneous fees. Meron pa kaming monthly stipend. So, yeah, without further ado, let's go back to the meat of the matter. Kaklase ko po siya in the Ateneo. And one of our subjects that focused on technological advancements when it comes to sustainability, resilience, and being green. Ayan. So the first thing that happened was he approached me, letting me know of the project. It's going to be his house in Kalumpit, Bulacan. Of course, I responded with the basic questions. How big will the house be? Ano ang total lot area, of course, ng property? And ano ang target budget for the construction? So, yan lang naman po, no, ang top 3 data that any design build contractor will be needing to come up with a quotation. So let's have a recap. Number 1, we have the estimated total gross floor area. Number 2, we have the total lot area of the project. And the number 3, the estimated target budget to construct the building. Okay, pwedeng magdagdag ng supporting data, but these 3 are non-negotiable. They need to be provided for us to be able to come up with a very rough quotation for the project. And from there, we expounded on the context of the project. Okay, nagkaroon lang siguro ng roughly 3 more phone calls. Why? Dahil located nga ang project, located din siya sa Bulacan. Or rather, it's based in Bulacan and I'm based in Laguna. And then from there, we're able to prepare the draft for the design contract. Now, maski design-build po ang endeavor, ang engagement, hinahati pa rin po natin into two contracts ang mga kontrata involved in a design-build endeavor. So we have the contract for the design component, and another contract will be prepared for the build component. Hindi po pwedeng combined. Well, pwede rin naman, but primarily because maraming pwedeng mangyari along the way, ideally hiwalay po sila. Kaya hinihiwalay natin siya in all of our engagements here with LC Design Build. And then after revising the initial draft for roughly 3 times, we're able to finalize the design contract. Okay, and nagkapirmahan na nga, and here we are heading over to the site to conduct the very first activity to initiate the project. Ano nga ba ito? Of course, site visit. Hindi tayo pwedeng mag-undertake ng phase 1 ng design endeavor without conducting the mandatory site visit. Hindi pwede yan. It's non-negotiable for me. Kailangang makita ng mga mata ko as an architect ang site before designing anything. Okay? So it's non-negotiable. Ano nga po ba ang mga kaganapan dito sa site visit? Of course, we have to check the neighborhood. We have to check, well, in general, the neighborhood. Ano-ano ang mga i-check natin? Ano nga ba ang conditions ng utilities? Ano nga po ba ang deeds of restrictions ng subdivision if ever the project's located in a subdivision? And kapag hindi naman, of course, ano nga po ba ang mga applicable development controls, that we will be lifted from National Building Code of the Philippines, Presidential Decree 1096, and its referral codes. Ganyan po, ang tamang pagko-conduct ng site visit. So, i-check natin mamaya saan nga ba tayo maglalatag ng service entrance for the electrical supply lines. Okay? Saan nga ba pwedeng i-locate si water meter, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Ano nga ba ang prevailing design motif in the area? Okay? Bahain ba? Among other things, wala naman pong limitations, as much as possible. Napaka-comprehensive dapat ng ating pag-aaral sa site sa unang beses pa lang ng ating pagpunta. Okay, and then of course, we are to take as many photos as we can, videos even, okay, interact with the neighbors para as early as now, makapag-create na tayo ng good bonds with them para come construction. Okay? Hindi pa lang doon tayo magsisimula ng forming connections, bonds with them as early as the design phase. Okay na ang ating relationship with the neighbors, among other things. Okay? So, yan po ang naging proseso. Ang magiging proseso natin ngayon. Okay? And then, itong design phase natin na ito, ay hinati lamang po natin into two basic sub-phases. We have design phase 1. Ang goal ay ma-frozen natin ang architectural plans. And then we have the design phase 2. Ang goal ay ma-finalize naman na natin ang engineering documents. Of course, kasama dyan ang engineering plans, engineering specifications, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Design phase 1 is very important. Kailangang ma-close muna ito bago natin ma-finalize ang engineering. Okay? But it doesn't mean to say na ang focus lamang po natin sa design phase 1 ay architectural. No, of course, integrated na as early as the design phase number 1 ang engineering. Okay? So from time to time, kukonsultahin na po natin ang ating mga engineers, pero kapag kailangan lamang. Now, architects are also well-versed with the engineering disciplines. But of course, we can only do so much. Unang-una sa lahat, hindi kami pwedeng pumirma kasi hindi naman yan kasama sa aming license. And of course, the detailing of things, hindi rin namin pwedeng i-undertake yan. Okay? Hanggang architectural detailing lamang kami, among other things. But of course, sa CHED mandated BSRK curriculum, meron kaming structural designing, meron kaming electrical engineering designing, mechanical engineering designing, plumbing engineering designing, auxiliary engineering designing, kompleto po yan. Okay, kaya nga sufficient na po yan para makapag-come up kami ng isang comprehensive architectural documentation, integrated ang mga basics na nalalaman namin sa engineering disciplines. And then come design phase 2, ito na nga, i-detail na po yan ng ating mga engineers. So ganyan lang naman po kasimple. And then of course, ang pinaka-output ng ating design phase 2 ay itong mga documents that will be needed in securing the necessary permits. Okay, isa-isahin lang natin real quick. Ano-ano nga ba ang mga permits na kakailanganin natin? Ito po ang kanilang mga general classifications, or ito ang mga general permits na kukuhanin natin before we can even start the excavation, kumbaga. Of course, if the project is located in a subdivision, mangangailangan tayo ng subdivision permit. Sorry, hina-high blood na naman ako. Kapag may mga nakikipag-git-gitan, ang bagal ko ng here in NLEX. Tapos meron pa nga nakikipag-git-gitan. To make things worse, it's a truck. Anyway. Of course, number 1, we have the subdivision permit. Number 2, we have the barangay permit. Number 3, eto na, pwede na tayo magpunta kay City Hall after securing the subdivision permit and the barangay permit. Ano-ano nga po ba ang ating kukunin kay City Hall? Number 1, we have the location clearance. Simultaneous with the securing of the location clearance, pwede na natin i-secure. Of course, kailangan ng basbas ng Office of the Building Official, before you can start securing for this next item, fire safety evaluation clearance. And then kapag meron ka na pong location clearance at fire safety evaluation clearance, pwede ka na magpunta ng Office of the Building Official to officially secure the building permit. Now, hindi lang yan building permit. Ang sabi sa ating PD 1096, the actual building permit will become null and void kapag wala siyang kaakibat ng mga ancillary permits. Ano nga po ba itong mga ancillary permits na tinatawag? Number 1, we have the architectural permit. Number 2, we have the structural permit. Number 3, we have, in no particular order po ito, we have the plumbing permit, the electrical permit, the etc., etc., etc. Depende po yan sa need ng project. Mati-check naman nila, o bakit wala kang finilautan na plumbing permit? Ay kitang-kita dito sa mga na-submit mo, na mangangailangan kayo neto. Okay? So, hindi ka naman makakalusot kay City Hall. Pero what I'm trying to say here is, case-to-case basis po yan. Hindi naman porket may project ka, ipe-prepare mo lahat ng mga documents na ito, Hindi naman kailangan if the project doesn't call for it. So, for example, if it's just a renovation project, okay, na walang plumbing component, hindi ka na mangangailangan no, ng ancillary plumbing permit. And consequently, of course, you need not prepare the plumbing documents, you need not fill out that plumbing permit application form, etc., etc., etc. So, ito po ang mga tinatawag nating ancillary permits. Okay? It goes without saying, meron at merong isa at the very minimum na ancillary permit na kaakibat ang building permit. Hindi pwedeng wala. May architectural yan. Okay, if it's a renovation project. Okay, if it's a construction project, hindi rin pwedeng walang architectural permit, structural permit, among other ancillary permits. Okay? So, hindi po basta-basta ang pagsasecure ng building permit. May mga kaakibat yang ancillary permits. Again, mandatorily, may isang ancillary permit na kaakibat ang lahat ng mga building permits in the Philippines. Hindi pwedeng wala. Meron din po tayong tinatawag ng mga auxiliary permits. Kapag ang project mo ay may swimming pool, pwede kang kumuha ng, well, you are mandated by PD 1096 to secure the swimming pool permit. Pag ang project mo ay bangko, you are mandated by PD 1096 to secure the bank vault permit. Okay? Itong mga ito ay auxiliary permits naman na tinatawag. So we only have two categories of permits, no? Ancillary and auxiliary. Again, ancillary, sila ang mga non-negotiable na kaakibat ng mga building permits. Mandatorily, may at least one. Who determines ano-ano ang mga ancillary permits na kakailanganin mo for your project? Of course, walang iba kundi ang Office of the Building Official. Who determines ano-ano ang mga auxiliary permits na kakailanganin mo? Walang iba kundi ang Office of the Building Official as well. Lahat ng mga nabanggit ko po, no, ay hindi gawa-gawa lamang. Lahat ng ito ay stated in Presidential Decree 1096, 1977 version with amendments. Okay? And its referral codes. Ayan. And once meron ka ng building permit, and lahat ng mga kaakibat na ancillary and auxiliary permits, okay, depende once again sa project requirements, pwede ka nang mag-construct. But wait, there's more. If your project is located in a subdivision, kailangan mong ibalik ang mga, hindi naman ibalik, yung pong doon mo pa nga lang siya makukuha, no? Kailangan mo i-submit itong mga permits na ito sa administration ng subdivision para makapagbayad ka na ng necessary construction or renovation bond. Okay? At ma-issuehan ka na nila ngayon ng actual construction or renovation permit. So, ganyan lang naman po kasimple ang set of processes natin, no? Okay? Kapag meron ka na nito, only then are you able to start the actual works in the site. Ganyan lang kasimple. And then sa katapusan ng construction for the project, ano naman ang isa-secure natin? Of course, the occupancy permit. Okay? At ito naman ang kakailanganin ng subdivision para ma-refund naman sa iyo ang bond. Okay? Paki-consult na lang po ang inyong mga subdivision administrations. Okay? Kung 100% ba ng bond ay ang ma-refund, case-to-case basis yan. In the case of Park Springville Subdivision, the Glens at Park Springville Subdivision as well, only roughly 90% of the bond gets refunded back to the owner. So, case-to-case basis. So, at least in that short discussion of mine, we're able to tackle the complete picture, okay, in constructing a house in the Philippine setting. So we'll just join you along the way as we undertake the next steps concerning this very exciting project of ours. Malayo-layo pa tayo sa exit. Nasaan na nga ba tayo? Alright, so that's it for now. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next.